what can I say? You guys loved the 12 Days of Christmas special we did where we revealed 12 new cars back to back to back to back to back. So because of that, we wanted to do something similar for this 3-day Memorial Day weekend. So we figured why not reveal 3 cars back to back to back. So welcome to day 1, the first new car reveal. And if you want to see some airplane reveals, be sure to check out our channel, JR Aviation. I'm telling you right now, the 3 cars we're revealing this weekend are very, very different. The first one, we're starting out with a bang. V12 Supercar, British, handmade, front engine, rear wheel drive. Introducing the channel, our new 2017 Aston Martin V12 Vantage S. And there you have it. Surprise. Bet you didn't see that one coming. A lot of you guys probably don't even know this car exists. Did you know Aston Martin took their smallest little 2-seat coupe and they shoved a massive V12 from the bigger models into it? From the outside, there's very little to distinguish it from the little brother V8 Vantage, but there are a few differences. One of them is this hood right here. We get these 4 cutout vents that let you see down to that big 5.9 liter V12. They're finished in carbon fiber, so they look super cool, and they let that hot V12 breathe. We have this carbon fiber grille surround, the HID headlights, nice 19-inch wheels, and of course the massive, massive carbon ceramic brakes you get with the V12 variant. So this thing is absolutely beautiful, drop dead gorgeous, just subtle, clean, unmistakable Aston styling. Honestly, I'm a bigger fan of this era of Aston Martin than the new era. Of course, design is subjective, but come on, you cannot tell me this is not one of the most gorgeous cars ever made. And then for the engineers to drop in a 560 horsepower V12 is just something very, very special. Speaking of special, look at this interior. If the exterior wasn't gorgeous enough, are you kidding me? This is like my dream spec. If I bought this car brand new back in 2017, this is exactly how I would do it. And thank goodness I didn't buy this thing brand new in 2017 because it came with an MSRP of about $230,000 as specs. So thank goodness the previous owner took that massive depreciation hit and not me. We'll explain the whole deal and why we bought this car as we drive it, but we're already running very behind. So without further ado, let's get behind the wheel of this very special car. This is the final year they made this car, which is actually very cool for multiple reasons. One of them being you have the updated center stack out of the 177. I think this is miles ahead of the old ancient infotainment system in something like our Virage or the early Vantages. So 2016, 2017, the final years got this update and it looks sensational and it just operates light years ahead of the old system. So let's get going. We got to make it to the watch shop before they close. Oh, that'll never get old. So you guys know our good friend Owen at Fly with Owen on Instagram. Well, it was his birthday the other day, and what better birthday gift to give someone than a new Rolex? So we're taking it to the watch shop because they have to take out a few links. We'll give you a little sneak peek. This video goes live after the birthday party, so you guys can see it without spoiling the reveal. So like I said, he's a pilot, so why not get him the OG Rolex pilot watch, the Air King, except this one's obviously the new Air King. So how exciting is that? It's gonna be a good night when we reveal this to him. He has no idea we got this for him. Huge shout out to Wrist Aficionados for getting us this watch last second and making it just in time for the birthday party in 2 hours. So let's get going. So I guess we can address the elephant in the room right away. Yes, this is the single clutch automatic. It's not the 7-speed manual, but hey, cut us some slack. The 7-speed manual would be like $200,000. It's double the price to have a manual. Like, come on. I get a little premium, but 200 grand, we're not about to drop that much money on the 7-speed manual. The single clutch, I get it, it's not the greatest transmission, but it has that single clutch, you know, character, we'll say. Personality. Some people like that. You know, each shift you can definitely feel.
So you're telling me that the last great V12 naturally aspirated manual transmission depreciated $30,000?
Oh. That's a good point. Even the manual's depreciated. You're right. Well, much better than the automatics. The automatics took a massive hit, and that's partially why we got such a good deal on this car. All right, so it's kind of a crazy story. I won't talk about it too long, it'll bore you guys, but This car was owned by the bank, so it was repossessed from the previous owner who bought the car either brand new or he was the second owner. Regardless, his Carfax entry shows that he got the car with 44 miles on it. So therefore, I'm guessing he was thinking that this would be the next hot collector's item, you know, invested in it, dropped $200-something thousand on the car, only for the market to absolutely plummet on these things and to be completely upside down on his loan. So I'm sure at that point he's just like, all right, bank, you can take the car back. You know, I owe 150 on it, but it's worth 100. That's what I'm guessing happened. That's the only reason I could see the bank taking the car back. So kind of odd, but it enabled us to get a smoking deal on it. And the car is like perfect. We had to do a few things to it. We put on new rear tires. We had to replace a couple sensors. The parking brake needed to be readjusted. An oil change, filters. That's about it. A little bit of servicing and maintenance to get this thing completely dialed in. It is 100% perfect now. And part of the reason it's 100% perfect and looks this good, take a look at the mileage.
5,500 miles.
Yeah, that's not 55,000. 5,500.
The dude barely drove this thing. Maybe he just never got attached, and that's why he let the bank have it back.
I don't know. It's so weird. Like, if you're gonna let the bank repo your car, you might as well like have some fun with it or drive it. This dude kept it in pristine collector condition. Again, maybe he thought the values would shoot up. They never did. And now we have a car with 5,500 miles, basically brand new, stunning condition, and it drives just beautifully. We had never experienced one of these cars prior, and I have to say this is one of the best supercar values out there. Supercar, can we call it a supercar? It's basically a supercar. This thing is wicked fast. Our Aston Martin Vantage, 490 horsepower, pretty quick car, right? This thing poops on it. I'm telling you, this thing is genuinely fast. Let's do a little mini acceleration here. The more gas you give it, the more aggressive the shifts, especially in sport mode. And we can turn on sport suspension. Oh, it's already on. So yeah, it's a very, very stiff ride, especially with everything turned on to sport mode. But I kind of like it. It has a really nice planted feel. Although this is a fairly light car, it feels really like heavy on the controls. Then again, I don't know if heavy is the right word. It's very just like sturdy and planted. Would you agree? That's my takeaway.
Solid, handcrafted if they still are, Aston Martin.
Well, again, it's 5,000 miles. Check back at like 35,000 miles, it could be falling apart.
That's true.
I just love the way this thing sits on the road. It is just really planted and you have a good amount of traction despite having all that power sent through the rear wheel drive. Left here. Okay, test those carbon ceramic brakes. Oh yeah, speaking of brakes, the craziest brakes I have ever experienced. Here we are, Oliver Smith. Ryan and the guys in here are actually huge car nuts, so they love seeing us pull up in new cars each time, and I don't think they've seen this one, so.
Really? What did it look like? I guess I'll watch the video.
Alrighty, we got the links removed, ready for the big surprise tonight. Oliver Smith, thank you. Fire in the hole.
Sounds a little bit better than the Vantage, maybe just shorter exhaust or something.
I was about to say, you took it right out of my mouth. Like similar engine, yet it sounds a little better. So they obviously tweaked the exhaust a little bit. Maybe this one being the crazy sporty model, they took out maybe a couple resonators or something, because this thing screams. Also, it's extra loud because I took out, where is it?
Oh, the fuse.
I took out the fuse, so we basically wired open the mufflers. With this in, of course, under like 3,500 RPMs, the valves will close and it gets quiet.
So convenient. I wish every manufacturer did that. Made it so easy.
Right? You don't even have to, no check engine light or anything. You just pull out the fuse and then you're fully wired open and loud.
So is this the exact same engine that's in our 2012 Vantage?
Similar, just tuned up. The same 5.9 liter, even though they say 6 liter, it's technically 5.9 liter, but just cranked up to the moon. Like, this is about the most powerful it ever got. I think the last year of the Vanquish S got like a 10 or 15 horsepower bump, but this is basically as powerful as this engine ever got. And it started all the way back in, what, the 80s or 90s? And they've just been turning it up and up and up.
I love that, just refining naturally aspirated engines, 10, 20 horsepower at a time.
Okay, so we need to expel the rumors that single clutch transmissions are terrible. It's not terrible. It's plenty smooth when you want it to be. I'd say for a single clutch, this is about as good as it gets.
This is a Sport Shift 3 refinement.
Exactly.
3rd gen.
The first generation or an old F1 or an old E-Gear, I get it. They can be a little quirky and a little jerky at times, but this one, along with like the Aventador and those last generation of single clutch transmissions, they're pretty darn good. And the shifts are nearly just as quick as a dual clutch. It's just they're not nearly as smooth. They give you this slam in the back, and it's kind of fun. A lot of people are into it, some people aren't. Teach their own.
Yeah, I like it. We had our 2008 Roadster Vantage, first gen of the single clutch, and yeah, not as good as this, but even it wasn't awful. But I hear that they go through clutches. Hopefully this one won't go through a clutch. However, none of our single clutch cars have we gone through clutches. The F430 is kind of a oddball, but we've never like totally worn through a clutch disc,
yeah,
like people talk about every 10,000 miles or 15,000 miles.
You easily can. If you screw it up or you go reversing up a hill, you could fry it in 5 miles. But if you know how to take care of it and you drive it in sport mode and you just drive it properly like you should, you'll get plenty of life out of it. Speaking of the exhaust, are you sure we shouldn't straight pipe this thing? With the right exhaust, this thing sounds absolutely mental. Roll the clip. Guys, that's pretty tempting. I wouldn't mind sounding like that, but I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna hang on to this car, keep it, flip it. What do you guys think? We could flip it right now for a nice profit and move it on to the next thing. But if you guys think this is a great performance bargain and it's a future collectible car, being the last naturally aspirated V12, maybe the prices will increase and we should hold on to it.
I think leave the exhaust up to the next owner and definitely move this one along, roll it into the next project.
Definitely a heavier steering. You gotta admit, some of the modern Ferraris you can like move with a pinky, whereas this a little heavier, that's for sure. But I like the weight to it. Let's merge onto the road here and give you that classic single clutch snap, full throttle snap. Oh gosh, this thing revs to the moon. 7,000 RPMs. Here we go.
Maybe we should keep this thing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you haven't been in this thing full throttle. Isn't that
good?
Crazy?
I locked up my seatbelt.
Aren't the brakes crazy?
That was pretty good.
You could be going quick and then just boom, back down to...
That was pretty good. I think that my problem is I have our original Vantage in mind, where it was not particularly fast, V8 Roadster, single clutch, but the first generation of it. And I'm thinking, who would pay $110,000 for one of these things when you can get that for, I think we bought it for like 26, sold it for 28.
Okay, that's true. This is like 4 times the price, but oh my gosh, they're completely different night and day cars. If you're not a car enthusiast, you would just be thinking they look the same and they sound the same and they perform the same. Not at all. If you know what you're looking at, this thing is special. Man, it just revs so high. 7,300 RPM redline, I think.
Yeah, but how high does a 812 rev?
Okay, fair. Other V12s rev higher. I love this car so much. I think we need to get them a rear exhaust clip with the GoPro on the back. What do you say?
Ooh, let's do it.
Even with the exhaust wired open, it's still very quiet in here, especially if you just put it in a high gear. Smooth, quiet. I could easily daily drive this car. Wow, I forgot that this thing...
So it's the coupe versus the Roadster, which of course helps, but it's kind of technically a hatchback, and so you get a tiny bit more practicality out of it. Just a cool, spacious interior that I like a lot.
Yeah, we got this little hat shelf here, so you can put some bags there. Yeah, let's see how it does handling-wise. So much fun. Why is nobody talking about this car? Okay, Savage had one for the first car trek, the 2015. Again, I don't really like the 2015 because it's got the ancient center stack, but the rest of the car is the same.
What did he pay for his? What was his story?
He got for like 80-something grand. It was just higher mileage, 2015.
If he paid 86 grand, how did that qualify for the car trek budget?
Yeah, he cheated. We all know that episode. But I think he liked the car. Of course, he wanted a manual, hence why he got the DBS with the manual. But no one talks about these cars. It's a naturally aspirated V12 supercar for a third the price of any other V12. Supercar. Am I right, guys? Comment down below. What do you think of the V12 Vantage? I think they're underappreciated, undervalued. I can't see it dropping much below 100 grand, but who knows? I can't see into the future. We want to hear what you guys have to say about it down below. Try just D Sport. It'll do all the shifting.
Well, we got rid of one person's weight. We're down at like a 1/16 of a tank. I don't think we could have better conditions. Here we go. Things. First of all, I don't know why it didn't shift at the top of second gear. I was in automatic mode and I don't think I ever touched the paddles. Maybe I did. Secondly, I could have gotten on those brakes a lot harder and that was still super hard. Let's make those adjustments and try it again. Sport mode D. Gonna try not touching the paddles. That time it worked. Nice.
Well, there go all my batteries.
I was gonna say, did we knock that Rolex out of time?
Yeah, I think you just gave it a few wounds with that acceleration and braking. Impressive, right?
Yeah, on that first takeoff, I don't think that I ever touched the paddle. It shifted automatically from first to second and then second to third.
Because you let off before you hit red line.
No. I hit the rev limiter in like second gear or something.
Isn't that just bonkers? It's genuinely fast.
Pretty good.
It is not just some GT stylish car.
And
like
it's power under the curve. No turbos to spool up. No supercharger.
Let me get the GoPro.
Oh yeah. Is that
If
still
it's still
attached
there.
back there?
Oh shoot.
Oh, yikes. Somehow it is. Wow.
All right, that's enough fun for one day. We got to make it to the birthday party. Oh shoot, 5:51. Birthday party's in 30 minutes. Hey yo, what's homie doing with the rental Mustang? Your top's up, bro. What's he doing? Oh jeez. My God, yo. Tell me this wasn't the perfect car to kick off our back-to-back-to-back car reveal special. We really do need your guys' help on this one, deciding whether we should keep it, flip it, upgrade it, mod it, wrap it, boost it. Just kidding, I don't think you can boost an Aston Martin like this, but we're really torn on what to do next, and especially after today's drive, I kind of want to keep this thing, but a nice profit being waved in front of my face is awfully tempting. You guys know how we roll. We're business minded. That's how we've been able to afford all these cars, is by making smart deals, selling something when there's a profit on the table, moving that money into the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and with that slowly building up our net worth and our hangar full of cars. But I really want to keep this thing. Just look at it. Just look at it. Man, if you're in the market for something like this, I highly recommend going for it, especially if you're cool with a single clutch. So I think for the money, it's one of the best cars out there. But fight me in the comments if you don't agree. Thank you guys for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe if you're not already part of the JR Garage family. What are you doing? We've been at this for like 6 years. You guys remember us, all the OG subs out there. Comment down below if you're one of them from the Lamborghini goes to high school video or Viper goes to high school. You know, we've come a long way. We've added a lot of cars and airplanes to the collection. And certainly I hope you liked our latest addition here. So stay tuned to see what the next two are. I'm telling you, they are very different, but they're awesome in their own regard. So stay tuned for tomorrow. I hope you all have a safe and happy, fun Memorial Day weekend. But let's not forget to set aside some time and appreciate what Memorial Day is all about, honoring those who have fought for our country. We're blessed to have been born in the United States of America. It has afforded us so many opportunities to succeed through entrepreneurship, and none of that would have been possible if it weren't for the generations and generations of veterans who have fought for this country. So thank you to our military and all the amazing patriots out there.